So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is From the Sidelines. And as we do every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. But as what happened last week, we still don't have a Tom.
So we've got John.
We've got John. So
John?
You're going to indulge me for just
I
a second.
am going to indulge you, although I didn't. Yes, no, go. I'll let you indulge yourself. Yes.
So I've been a supporter since 1969. Okay.
That's before I was born.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit old, just a bit older than you are, and I've been a South supporter since then. So while I can't really say I remember going to the grand finals or South games and watching John Sattler play, I got to say he was, as I was growing up, probably one of my heroes in that South era. You know, that included, Paul Sate and Lurch O'Neill and Piggins and all those guys. And as I got older, we would go and see these guys play, and it was all really good. But it really is sad to see someone like John Sattler pass because he meant so much to the game. And look, I know as probably not as South supporters, most people probably think, well, what? But he comes from an era that really helped develop the game, and an era where men just bashed each other, and you couldn't get away with what happened then today. You just couldn't do it at all. But I just wanted to acknowledge his passing because it for all South supporters it means a lot, and I know for the game this week against Manly, it will mean a lot as well. Yes, I'm hoping it's used as motivation. Okay. Anyway, look, we won't talk too much about that. But I thought, this is the John Sattler half rabbit jersey. I thought I'd just invite it to the show today and let it join in. You okay?
Yeah, I'm the rose between two thorns.
Okay,
that's what it is.
You know what? I'll accept that today.
All
right. Let's have a talk about the round that's just been played. Sorry, Tom isn't here again. Tom's actually travelling.
He's holidaying, so we're going to talk for Tom.
We're going to, but he did send me his tips this week.
Didn't send them to me.
So you think it doesn't count?
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Okay. All right. So let's get into the round of NRL that was played over the weekend. And you know what, Brian? It started at Four Pines Park, where Manly just narrowly beat Parramatta 34-30.
Yeah. Now, I've got a couple of things to say about this game.
Okay.
First of all,
and I'll sit back here and I'll.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Do your bit.
Because I'm gonna harass you.
Me?
Yeah.
What have I done?
So points out of this game. Josh Schuster's first game at 5'8".
Yes.
He was awesome.
Sensational.
He is going to get better. Relaxed, chilled. He looked like he belonged there. I'm very happy for him. He looked like he was playing in the backyard, and some of the stuff that he was doing was amazing.
Yep.
Tom was great. And they're only going to get better when they start to combine. So that was good.
That will be after next weekend. Okay.
My only concern is every time Tom gets tackled, my heart's in my mouth, and I don't know whether I can watch football games like that because it hurts me. So that's the first thing. Now Manly went out to a bit of a lead in this game, and they started to lose it. Parramatta started to come back.
Yes.
And there were a whole bunch of messages coming from this fella and the one in Adelaide. Oh, look at them. They're hopeless. They're terrible. They can't win a game. Whoa.
I never said that at all.
They were, you guys were very, very harsh. Very harsh. But I just want to point out that every game this weekend went exactly the same way. So there you go. That's what I want to say about Manly. I want to mention two things about Parramatta for the Parramatta supporters out there.
Okay.
I'll have a shot at you because hair pulling is a cheap shot. And apparently you guys are a bunch of hair pullers. I don't get that. But your defence is woeful. 56 points in 2 games. You're not going to win a comp like that, no matter how many points you score. So, Parramatta, do something about it. That's all.
Is that all?
That's all. Nice and simple.
Not going to talk about the fact that you nearly lost it.
Well, we could have won it too.
Well, you did win it.
There were a couple of tries pulled back, I thought, on both sides that were legitimate. And, Yes, I think the pass to Campbell Gillard was forward, so don't care what you say about that, Steve. You're Steve, he's Steven. Yeah, that's all. What, you got something else to say?
No, I'm just looking back on some of these notes where I apparently abused you about.
Yeah.
And I think I said...
Was the abuse just coming from Tom, was it?
Yeah, I think it was, because I said I think Manly deserves the win.
Yep. Is that all you said?
Tom said it came down to...
Goal
in the
kicking.
end, it came down to goal kicking. Manly looked more polished, but went on. Paris scrapped well. And then you said, second game, Manly started amazingly, but just couldn't keep it up. Match fitness cost them. Stupid buy in the second round.
Yeah.
I didn't bag out Manly.
Right.
You bagged out Manly.
It was just Tom. Yeah, he sent me a whole bunch of other messages as well. Yeah. No, that Parramatta, all those Parramatta supporters out there that are not happy following the bye for the next couple of weeks.
That is a bit of a rip-off.
But it could play to your favour. Like, Manly were obviously not match fit. One game, a bye, back in.
Yeah, I know.
But it showed.
As that now goes on, because they've got another 2 weeks of following the bye, and that's going to be even harder.
And unfortunately, it's against Penrith and then the Chooks.
I know.
So, yeah. All right.
It's going to be tough. All right, what about McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Dolphins 36 beat Newcastle 20? My goodness, very few people would have expected that.
I did. I picked them.
Such a win, though? I picked them as well, but not to win by 16.
I thought that was the Dolphins' worst game.
Really?
Yeah. I thought they were terrible. But it just goes to show something about the Knights, doesn't it? That was the Dolphins' worst game, and they still put 30 points on them. The Dolphins got a really simple game plan. High completion, low errors.
Yep.
Just roll with the game. And it shows. They've done really, really well. That's all I have to say. And the Knights are terrible.
I've got to tell you, I don't think Lachlan Miller is terrible. I thought he had
he's
an exceptional
fantastic.
game, and he's playing very well.
Yep.
Jackson Hastings seems to struggle a little bit, and I don't know why. I think he's an exceptional player, and I think in the right team he would be, but for some reason...
he's got the forwards not going anywhere.
No, they're not. They're not. And look, I've got to say the Dolphins, again, yes, I think they're playing well. I think for what they are, for who they are, I think they're going well.
Yeah, and the Knights were terrible, so...
Yeah. All right. Oh, God, let's talk about Allianz Stadium. Sydney Roosters 20 beat South 18. Now, why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
I'm in pain at the moment, Brian. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
I can play it back.
That was a laugh.
I was disappointed. South got out to a 12-0 lead, 10-0 lead, something like that. And then by the 25th minute, they just started falling apart. Brandon Smith comes on. Wira Hargraves comes on and starts to tear South apart. And I don't understand what happened at that point, because they should have been able to shut those two down. But, in the Roosters' defence, Hargraves gives them a big lift. It's amazing the difference he makes when they come on.
He came on and dominated. And, I thought once Souths hit the lead, there was nearly a switch in their head where they went, well, we can score here at any time. They started to make stupid errors, and the Roosters went ahead, and then when Souths couldn't pull it back, momentum back their way, Cody Walker's got a screw loose. They think if they can't win the game, they can win the fight.
They can win the fight. It's South.
Well, yeah, they can. That's right. That's why they lost. Yeah. They lost control. They were entirely... The momentum went against them, and they lost control.
They do seem to struggle when momentum goes against them.
Yep.
They really do.
I know, that's a big plus for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, after 13 minutes, it was South 10-0. Yep. And looked like they were going to go on with it.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about the punch-up?
No, I don't know whether there was much in it. But again, that was just in my mind, that was the perfect example of South's losing control and not playing football. They're a far better football team than the Roosters are at the moment.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I said last week that I think South will play the Roosters into form, and they did that. Because the Roosters turned up, and obviously they turned up wanting to prove something about last year's game with, Sin Bin Sunday, that sort of thing. And they did it. They managed to keep their cool. I question Manu only getting 1 week for his hit. I have no problem with South trying to run in and defend. Look, I think Cameron Murray was right. He said, I'm not going to start a fight, but I'm certainly going to defend my players. And that's what he was doing. But you know what? South should have won that. They had plenty of opportunities to win it. I reckon they left 3 or 4 tries on the field.
Yep.
They should have won. But anyway, good luck to the Roosters. They are coming back into some sort of form. And we'll talk about them later because there is the issue where, Suwali shouldn't have been playing if he was judged right for a tackle.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. All right.
All right, let's go to Seabus Super Stadium where the Titans beat the Storm 34-30.
72 points in a game, Steve.
What
do we do?
I actually said at about when the score I think was about 34 or something. I was thinking to myself, how bad would it be to have scored 34 points against Melbourne and still lose? Because at that stage, it looked like Melbourne could still win it.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't know. I don't understand this. This was, 70-odd points. No team seemed to want to tackle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Melbourne is not that sort of team.
There were a couple of times in that game where Melbourne just gave away silly penalties, just dumb football.
Yep.
They're playing the opposite of the Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going out, I wouldn't say expecting to win, but just dumb football. Mind you, that young Jonah Pizzette looks pretty good.
He does, yes.
My goodness. And AJ Brimston was amazing, I thought.
So where's the Storm falling over?
Oh, I think they miss Munster. He's back this week, and we'll see how they go.
But he's not going to tighten up that defence.
Or let's wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, look, and to be honest, I was picking the Gold Coast and changed my mind at the last minute because Justin Olam was back, and I thought that'll solve that edge defence, but it didn't.
Yep. You know, it's interesting that every game up to this one, and probably even happened to the next one, teams were scoring in blocks of 2 or 3 tries, and then the other team was coming back with blocks of 2 or 3 tries.
Yep.
It's the game's a funny game at the moment. I don't know where the teams you're not expecting to perform well are performing well.
Yep.
I mean, if you were to look at your top 8 right now, half of what you picked wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
All right. Warriors 26, North Queensland 12. I mean, again, I didn't expect this one happening, and to have lost by 14.
We said it a couple of weeks ago. The Tigers Knights game was abysmal.
Yep.
And the Warriors looked disinterested. That it was unbelievable. This Warriors team though that went to North Queensland, they were dominant. They were everywhere. They were dominant. You know, they had 5 of their forwards ran for over 100 meters.
Yep.
5. Like what? That's unheard of.
Yep.
They were outstanding. Tohu Harris, Andrew Webster must be some kind of genius coach. I know everyone was talking up Cameron Ciraldo, but that Andrew Webster, he must be some kind of a genius.
Yeah, considering the team he's got. You look at the team Ciraldo's got compared to what he has got at the Warriors. Yeah, you're right.
The Warriors have got some decent players, but not that.
No.
Not that. So, are the Cowboys believing their hype, Steve?
I felt for this game they were. I really thought for this game they were just turning up and trying to go through the motions.
One of our listeners, so Nanai signed a big money deal at the start of the year.
Yes.
And one of our listeners said, I don't know whether I would have done that. So, Janelle, hats off to you. Nanai was on the field for 80 minutes, had 6 runs for 43 metres.
Wow. Which is probably the worst game he's had for 12 months.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I am a little bit confused because I thought the Warriors The Warriors were dominant. North Queensland let them. And Todd Payton comes out and says the team has a lack of trust issue. What are they not trusting? Him?
Well,
I don't know.
I guess they're not trusting their processes because there's no way they should have lost by that much to the Warriors.
Yep, terrible.
So, from one odd game to another one, Broncos 40 beat St George Illawarra 18.
Yes.
If St George Illawarra played 80 minutes instead of 70 minutes, this would have been a very close game.
Yep.
They
were in it.
They were well in it until 10 minutes to go where they just fell apart.
Well, I don't understand.
Me neither.
I mean, everybody was criticising Manly because Parramatta came back. They were criticising Souths because the Roosters came back. 40 points. What?
Yeah.
They were in the game.
Yeah.
But
and playing well.
Yeah.
St George, I think the Broncos always seem to have their measure.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I honestly thought that the Dragons were going to give this a shake.
Yep. Payne Haas. So I wrote down some numbers. Payne Haas played for 60 minutes.
Yes.
227 run meters.
How does that compare with Nano?
Nearly 180 more.
and he played for 80 minutes.
Yes. And 26 tackles, no misses. He
Yep.
is a machine.
Yes.
That's all. And Reece Walsh was exceptional again.
Yeah, isn't he? Now putting him behind a decent pack with a good halfback.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard much about the Broncos halfback. We don't really know who he is, but he seems to be exceptional.
Young bloke.
Young bloke called Reynolds. He does seem to be very, very good. Can manage a game well.
True, he does, yes. What do you say to that, Cooper Cronk?
Yeah. Okay, Bulldogs 26, Tigers 22. 26-6 with, 10 minutes to go or something. and the Tigers score 3 tries. And honestly, I don't know.
Well, up until that last, 10 minutes, 15 minutes,
yep,
the Dogs were on top. They were cohesive. They were organised. They were attacking the edges. They were holding their own in the forwards. The Tigers didn't follow through on a tackle. They didn't back up. They didn't follow through on kicks. They did nothing right.
Yep.
They were incredibly average, and the game ends up with a 4-point difference.
Yep.
And it all coincided with this bloke that nobody wanted at the Dogs, Brendan Wakeham. Now, I know Tim Sheens was in the press conference and he says, I don't need to explain myself. But when you have a masterstroke where you take off a winger, move your fullback to the wing, your 5'8" to fullback, and bring in another bloke, and you have a 20-point turnaround, I think you need to explain how you saw that.
Well, I think you probably need to make sure it continues, and he is. He doesn't need to explain it. He's just it was just, to him, it was just every day. One of those things you do.
Every day. I love Tim Sheens, but yeah, I don't think the game has passed him by. I just don't think the players are buying it.
You know what I thought was this strange about this game as well?
Mm.
If you remember, every try was a long-distance try.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, there was very few where they were attacking from 5 or 10 out and they scored. They all came from well behind.
Yep.
And I can't explain that, because is that just a defensive issue from both teams, or I mean there were a couple of intercepts.
Yeah.
But,
the Alamotti out jumped and took a couple of balls. He was exceptional. But my question is then for the Dogs fans out there, what's the go? Like when they lost to Manly, it was Manly were lucky. They had a few streaky tries, and the defense was the attack was a bit clunky, and everybody was coming out saying, Manly win wasn't that good.
Yep.
This win was terrible by the Dogs.
Yep.
They wouldn't have beaten very many other teams.
Not at the way, no.
So, just throwing it out there. Live it up while you can, doggies.
Speaking of doggies.
Yes, your doggies are around my feet, annoying living daylights out of me.
Ah, dear. Okay, and Raiders 24 beat Sharks 20.
I really liked this game. This was my second favourite game of the weekend.
Yep.
Got to go for your own team.
It was a tough game.
Yep. high quality, fast, direct.
Yep.
It was, and the scoreline indicated it was really hard to pick who was going to win that game at any particular point. It could have went either way. Difference was Danny Levi getting injured, and am I allowed to say Ranger?
No.
And the red-headed fellow scoring a double. That was it. That was it. The Sharks actually looked like they were going to get away with it, and then the Raiders didn't give up. I thought it was a great game.
So where are the Sharks at the moment? Because
Yeah.
I'm concerned for them because they seem to have a bit of a hangover from last year.
Nah, look, Nico Hines will be back next week. I think he'll straighten them up. They'll follow through. His kicking game's really good. I mean, yeah. I'm prepared to say that I was wrong about the Sharks. I thought the wheels would fall off, but it doesn't look like it. There you go.
Okay, and Penrith had the bye this week, so let's have a quick chat about
Questions without notice.
Kaufusi.
Yes.
So he hits a player late.
Yep.
And we all agree that
Yep.
it was late.
Except for Billy Slater.
Well, no, I think Billy Slater.
Oh no,
even
Billy
said it was
Slater.
late.
There was exceptional circumstances there. He slowed down. He didn't hit him hard. It was just fractionally late.
Well, yeah, but
Please.
he's a Queenslander. So he hits him
Yep.
and gets 10 in the bin.
Yep.
Gets before the judiciary, tries to challenge it because of an issue that happened a week before. Or sorry,
Yep.
it was the week before,
Yep.
where Joseph Suwali hit someone in almost identical circumstances.
Well, no, I don't think it was identical. So
Tell me why.
So let's rewind. So Joseph Suwali, the playmaker, I can't remember.
It was a Warriors player.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was
Dolphin.
no, it was a fullback. She's
Chance.
Nickel Costa. Yeah.
So Chance passes the ball. The ball leaves his hands, goes to another player,
Yep.
and then out of nowhere, Suwali comes and stiff arms him straight across his back
Yep.
because his back's turned, knocks the bloke out.
Yep.
This,
So you're saying that's a lot worse?
I'm saying it is 10 times worse. When Kaufusi hit him, I reckon he saw Kaufusi coming, and he knew he was going to get hit. And I do agree with Billy Slater. He did pull out of the tackle somewhat.
Yeah.
But you can't. You couldn't really stop at that point. So
Yeah.
I'm prepared to say the Suwali hit was worse than the Kaufusi hit.
Okay. I guess what I don't know if you watched NRL 360 the other night, where they actually showed both screens and they showed both tackles. There's no doubt the Kaufusi one
Yep.
was not as late as the Suwali one.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to take the NRL to task here because I hate... We banter, we talk about biases, all that sort of stuff, but
Yep.
the NRL should not be biased.
No.
And while I think it's disgraceful that Suwali got a $1,500 fine and Kaufusi got 4 weeks,
Well, only because he fought it.
I'm not... Yeah, okay, 3 weeks if he didn't fight it. I'm not going to say that they're biased towards the Roosters, but I am going to say they seem to be biased towards certain players. You have Golden Boy Suwali, and I'm sorry I don't want to upset Rooster supporters out there, but think about this. Golden Boy Suwali, who they're trying to keep in the game, does a worse tackle than Kaufusi. Kaufusi has a record. There's no doubt he does.
Yep.
But they're supposed to be taking both tackles on its merit. You don't. You say this is worth a $1,500 fine. This is worth 4 weeks on the sidelines.
And we say it all the time. As fans, we will defend our players to the hilt.
Of course we do.
But we just want a consistency. If that was any other player getting hit late, and you are not a Dolphins fan,
Yep.
you would be baying for blood.
Yep.
Suwali hit him. If that was if you were a Roosters fan and someone hit your fullback, hit Teddy that late in the back,
You'd be screwing.
took him out for a week,
Yep.
it'd be blue murder.
Yep.
We just want consistency.
And I don't think the game can give us 100% consistency because...
Oh, we want closer than that.
Well, we want closer than that because where you could see both tackles, and they even stopped it at where the ball leaves the hands in each of those circumstances.
Yep.
You're then able to see that one was considerably late.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't get it. It frustrates me. It angers me because I just see that we allow some players to get away with a lot more than we do others. I realise Kaufusi has a bit of a history, but it shouldn't matter.
Uncle Nick.
It shouldn't matter.
Uncle Nick and his sombrero.
I'm not going to say that.
I
I don't think it is. I think it's just the
care.
game trying to protect, to keep players like Suwali. And you know what? He's not going to hang around anyway. He's signing 12-month contracts. He's waiting for the right time to leave. Anyway.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Let's go.
Because we probably upset everybody anyway. Okay, let's go on to Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers. Brian, on Thursday night at CommBank Stadium.
Yeah, Penrith nice and fresh after the week off. You know, Jerome Luai's no longer walking around in a moon boot. Cleary's had time to rest his ankle. Goodbye, Parramatta. But just remember, you can pull hair.
Can you?
Well, apparently.
Apparently so. Well, I'm going to go Panthers, and Tom has decided to go Panthers. I have Tom's tips here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tom went Panthers. Well, that's really actually quite surprising because Tom really doesn't like the Panthers.
No.
We should. I'm changing his tip to Parramatta.
Obviously, he doesn't like South either because he hasn't picked him. You're going to change your Parramatta? I would.
I'm changing your tip, Tom, to Parramatta. Yep.
That's fine. And Melbourne next against the West Tigers.
I'm scared to pick Melbourne. I actually am.
Against the Tigers.
I'm scared to pick Melbourne. They should have put the Titans to bed. I'm scared to pick them. I have, but I'm not happy about it. I'm picking them because Munster's back.
All right.
Even though Jerome Hughes isn't playing.
I've picked them as well, and so has Tom. But you know what? We can change it to West Tigers.
Yeah, Tom doesn't like Melbourne either.
No, he doesn't. No, he hates them. So let's
right.
change it to West Tigers. Dolphins and Brisbane, the Battle of Brisbane, as they're going to call it.
I think Kevin Walters has come out and said, yeah, they're not our rivals. They are going to smash the Dolphins off the park. I cannot see the Dolphins getting one up on them. I'm serious.
Well,
I haven't picked the Broncos this year, and I reckon they're going to. They will be making a statement.
I have picked the Broncos as well, but I don't say that with a lot of confidence.
No, I think they're making a statement. Tom
has gone Broncos as well.
How do you know this? Where are his
Well,
tips?
it's Tom right here. Yeah.
Oh, they're Tom's, are they?
They're
All
Tom's,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What?
You just did it.
No. It's just a picture.
I was going to change his tips right now.
No, it's just a picture. Okay, North Queensland against Gold Coast.
Well, I want to pick North Queensland, but I didn't. I think this is a toss of a coin.
Yeah.
Which North Queensland team shows up? Which Gold Coast team shows up? So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm going Gold Coast.
Oh, okay. I've got North Queensland, and so's Tom. Okay, match of the round.
Oof, I think it will be.
Saturday night, South Sydney Rabbitohs against Manly Sea Eagles on John Sattler's night.
Yes, they are. The club is talking about wearing black armbands as a mark of respect.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that they do and it takes some sting out. Well, remember last year, mind you, Bob Fulton died on the eve of the game between Manly and Parramatta.
Yes.
And that Manly side that played Parramatta, I think, would have beaten anyone. They were motivated beyond belief.
Yes.
So, I don't want that to happen again.
But Souths do have emotional players.
Yep.
Who can let their emotions get the best of them.
Yep.
So anyway, look, I've gone Bunnies. I think. Look, even without John Sattler passing, I think South would win this one anyway.
Well, we'll see. When Olakawatu picks Lachlan Ilias up and bench presses him in one arm with Kermatungi in the other. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, please. So you've gone Manly.
Yeah.
Tom's gone Manly as well.
First wise move he's made, really, isn't it?
Disgraceful. Warriors in Canterbury, Sunday.
I don't know. Like I said, I think the Dogs have been lucky with their wins, but you make your own luck. So
Yeah.
I'm on the Dogs.
Well, this is Mount Smart
Yeah,
Stadium.
I'm still going Dogs.
All right. Yeah, me too. Tom's gone Warriors. And Newcastle against Canberra.
Newcastle are terrible. Canberra.
Tom's gone Newcastle. He's actually gone Newcastle.
Well, I won't need to change that tip then, will I?
Oh, dear. All right. So do you want to do the ladder really quickly?
Well, are you going to go to the last game?
Haven't I got the last game?
No, there's St George and Cronulla.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who cares?
Professional outfit.
Of
Well,
course.
no, I care.
Well, he hasn't given me that one.
I'm going Cronulla.
Oh, hang on. He's got plus Sharks.
Plus Sharks. Yeah, I'm going the Sharks
Yeah,
too.
me too.
Yeah, sorry, the Dragons. The wheels fell off, man. They're up in Brisbane somewhere.
Oh, dear. All right. You want to do the ladder very quickly?
I can do the ladder very quickly.
Okay.
If I can find the ladder very quickly. Can I find the ladder very quickly? Just keep talking about the ladder.
It's just
Ladder has
ladder,
many parts. I'm still loading
Okay,
ladder.
so
All
what?
right.
Okay, go on.
We've got the Donkeys are first, followed by the Dolphins and the Sea Eagles, all equal first
Okay,
on 6
speak
points. No,
quickly.
it's Manly on 6 points, equal first. Then we've got the Warriors, the Panthers, the Titans, the Roosters, the Dogs, the Dragons, all on 4 points. Then we've got the Bunnies and the Raiders and the Sharkies and the Storm and the Knights and the Cowboys, all on 2. And we've got our lucky last losers on duck eggs, the Eels and the Tigers.
And Mitchell Moses might be going to the Roosters.
Oh,
Although
Nah.
Uncle Nick came out today and said it will definitely not be happening, which means it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I don't trust Uncle Nick, and I don't trust him. If a player's off market and they're any good, the Roosters go after him.
All right. Listen, our footy tip competition.
Yep.
I want to know how, after 3 weeks, someone's already so far ahead of me, I have no hope of catching anybody. In fact, that goes for you, me, and Tom. Although Tom is 2 points ahead of us.
Not
It's
after
very
this
sad.
week.
Bradley, I have no idea how you're doing 40 points, but congratulations. Well done. And our super coach.
Yes.
Hey, guess what?
What?
3 rounds.
Yeah.
I've won 3 games.
Yeah. I haven't lost yet in any of my
Neither-
leagues.
Oh, well,
I'm in 4 different
I'm not-
leagues and I haven't lost any.
I'm not talking about the ones where we're in. I'm talking about the other one.
Right.
I can't lose that one. But
Well,
the one that we're in,
Yeah, we've got Saints are out on front.
I'm abysmal.
Fred, we don't know who you are, Fred. Own up. Log on to our Facebook page and tell us who you are. Then we've got the Mighty McManleys up against the Immortals. That's going to be a good matchup this weekend. See you
Yes.
later, Hayden. I'm going to kick your butt too. And then Grinners, Blue and Gold Legend, Scotty H2, Robbie's Randoms, Chook's Rules, Classics, Rory, Heinz Beans, one SS Rabbitohs, Stephen, then another SS Rabbitohs, Zach, and then poor old Sally, whose team isn't complete. Sally, please put your team in, but after you play me.
But I'm just my other league. I'm 3 out of 3. I can't believe how I can be 3 out of 3 in one and duck egg in another one.
We're professionals in this league.
Must be all right. You got anything intelligent running the show with?
We're going to the footy on Saturday night, Steve.
Yes, we are. You're going to sit at one side of the stadium, and I'll sit at the other.
Is Joel going?
I don't know. I haven't heard back from him. I've texted him.
Joel, come to the footy
Joel.
with me.
Joel, he needs you to hold his hand for the loss.
Those South Sydney supporters, they're strange.
Careful what you say about the beautiful people of Redfern.
You know, the last time I went to a football game with you, Steve, Souths unearthed this young bloke, this Adam Dewey. Dewey, or whatever he wants to be called now.
Yeah.
And he absolutely carved us up.
I remember. It was 60. No, it wasn't.
No.
It was 50.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No,
It
it
was
wasn't.
50 odd
It was.
points.
It was a narrow 1 point win.
No, it was 50 odd points. I'll find out.
Who are you unearthing this week?
Well, actually, we're down on forward, so there could be a few.
All right, that's all.
Okay, all right. Thank you for watching. This is From the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve. Hopefully Tom will be back with us next week. in which we'll do it all again. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Cheers.